Indie games are often overlooked by most of the gaming community, so that's why I wanted to do a little series where I recommend some great indie games, talk about them a little bit, and hopefully get you to play them. So what is an indie game? An indie game is short for independent video game. It's a video game that is most often created without the financial support of a publisher. Although some games founded by a publisher are still considered independent. These games often focus on innovation and rely on digital distribution. Basically, indie games are not as big as the games from big companies like EA or Ubisoft, and that means they don't have enough money to get some sick graphics, sound effects, voice actors. The big difference between indie games and AAA games is that indie games developers don't want to milk you like a really skinny cow that we've become after putting all our money towards expensive PC to play some Witcher or new Call of Duty. Crysis 3. Indie game developers will still support the game with new DLCs, and they will communicate with community because that's what they love. They love video games and they love video game community. And from big studios, a lot of people that work there don't even play video games, so they don't really know what we expect from them. For me personally, the most important thing about the game is that the game must be fun.
If it's not fun, why bother?
And spending all my money on microtransactions to actually get something decent at the game or just to unlock some cool skin to my character is not fun. Fun is when I have to find it or earn it in some way. Of course, not all big games are like this. For example, God of War, Legend of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, Smash Bros, Uncharted, The Last of Us. I can name them a lot, but it's really small percentage of games. I really wish more games would be like this. Indie games are often overlooked because how small they are, because how they look, because people don't know much about them, because their marketing is not good, because they just don't have enough money for it. The first indie game I want to talk about is Hollow Knight. It's a 2D Metroidvania action-adventure game made by Team Cherry. Action takes place in Hallownest, an ancient kingdom. You are playing as a Hollow Knight, a mysterious figure that is cute, but scary, silent, and deadly as well. You start off with basic things, simple attack, jump, and as you progress you keep getting new tools to play with. And it really makes you want to play more, and it doesn't get boring. Like that small urge that you know that there's something around the corner and there's always something new. And all different locations are not the same. Like some are colorful, some are really sad, some are even scary. You have a small town that will start to fill up with new characters that you will find as you progress with the game. There are a lot of platforming sections here that will most likely lead you to the treasure or to the other location. Your save points are these little benches that you will find with help of these little signs. Some benches have also a train station near them. You can use it to go back to the main town or to travel across other parts of the world. But what happens when you can't find next bench and you die? Well, you will respawn at the last one you found and you will lose all your in-game currency, aka Geos. And the only way to get them back is to go to the place where you died and fight with your shadow. It's not really hard, you just have to hit him a couple times and he won't be able to do anything. But if you die on your way to him, you will lose your Geos forever. There are a lot of fun enemies in this game, except some of them. You don't have to kill them all. Just some of them are crucial to progress the game, other ones are side bosses or secret bosses that you can fight for fun or to unlock other endings and areas of the game. And there are a lot of areas in this game. So you start with a pretty small map that you acquire by finding this little guy that leaves papers behind him and travels around the world and just makes maps of places that he visited, and he will sell them to you at pretty good price, and you will need that map as soon as possible. So if you can afford them, buy them. As you keep exploring, and your map is getting bigger and bigger, you will realize that this world is not small at all. It's actually massive, and you can go the route you want basically. Some places are locked up by some obstacles that you can go through only with some abilities, but other than that you are free to go wherever you want. So everyone won't probably go the same route, which gives a lot of freedom to the player. Story is told mostly by environment, enemies and bosses. You don't have your standard cutscene or something. You just have to figure out yourself by reading items, finding out new things about enemies, and just looking at areas. You start with 5 hearts. You'll get them more as you progress. You can heal with souls that you acquire by healing enemies, or you can use it to perform some of abilities that you will find later in the game. Also, you can find charms that will boost your defense, offense, speed, magic, and some other really cool things that can synergize with each other. NPCs that you will encounter are pretty dark, but sometimes funny, which is a nice contrast to the world around them. Music is also amazing, just listen to it for a little bit. I could talk about this game for hours, but I just don't want to spoil it for you too much, because it's really magical to experience this masterpiece by yourself. At the start, this game might look really small, but trust me, I clocked around 60 hours, and you can buy this game for $15 or euros in Europe on PC, Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. And it recently got 35,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. If you are looking for a fun and hard adventure game that's also good for your wallet, just buy Hollow Knight. And I almost forgot. There is a sequel on the way.